My Hero Academia has finally come to an end, and Horikoshi can finally take his long-awaited rest. Except, I believe he's going to return with a new manga. But you guys might be thinking, Wave Lion, are you serious right now? Horikoshi has been suffering a lot from health issues while drawing My Hero Academia. There is no way he'll even be thinking of drawing another manga. And to that I say, you're kind of wrong, because we've seen this story unfold many times in front of our eyes. We saw both Kishimoto and Tite Kubo, authors of Naruto and Bleach, saying they were burnt out and are finally happy to take a long vacation after their stories end, but we see them come back shortly after. Kishimoto with Samurai 8 and Kubo with Burn the Witch. Although Tite Kubo took longer to return, my point still stands. Even authors like Togashi, who was burnt out and didn't want anything to do with drawing manga after he finished Yu Yu Hakusho, he still came back to make another long-running shonen in Hunter x Hunter. What I'm trying to say is these people love the game too much. They love the lifestyle, even though sometimes it may be to their detriment health-wise. Because think about it, that's what they've been doing for most of their lives. Most of these hit shonen mangakas, if you read their interviews, when they talk about when they started drawing, most of the time it's from their childhood. Even ones who left drawing for a while, maybe in their high school years or college years like Kishimoto, when they pick up drawing and get serialized, that's all they're going to be doing for most of their time. And once you start doing something repetitively again and again, it becomes difficult to let go of it. Letting go of that desire to make manga becomes very difficult. That's why you see sports athletes who've been training since their childhood, all they do is play their respective sports up to their teenage years, then they go pro and do that for over a decade, and when they eventually retire, they don't know what to do with themselves. So the desire to make another manga, I believe, will still be in Horikoshi's heart. Another example is with Sui Ishida, the author of Tokyo Ghoul and Chojin X. After he finished Tokyo Ghoul, which at that point in time he was very stressed and exhausted, which was evident by the drop in quality of the Tokyo Ghoul manga, it never felt like he would be returning to make another manga because of the hellish life he had making Tokyo Ghoul, especially the latter parts of it, which was very reminiscent of the Kohei Horikoshi situation for me. We know he was stressed and had health issues due to his work as a weekly mangaka. We know that because of the author notes on Weekly Shonen Jump issues where he states that he was ill multiple times. And also some of you guys might get mad at me, but the drop in quality in the final arc that My Hero Academia experienced, I'd argue, is because of his worsening health issues. The hellish Weekly Shonen Jump lifestyle caught up to him. But I strongly believe Kohei Horikoshi will return with another manga, because once you stop doing the thing that you've been consistently doing for years of your life, it's difficult to let go of it. And if Kohei Horikoshi returns, it will be on his own terms, because now he is an OG in the manga industry and his name commands respect. His next work, I believe, will attract a lot of attention because of the name he made for himself making My Hero Academia. That's what happened with the author of Tokyo Ghoul, Sui Ishida. Since Sui Ishida made a name for himself by making the manga of Tokyo Ghoul, and when he returned to make Chojin X, he had the privilege of serializing the Chojin X manga on his own terms, without him being pressured and him putting his health at risk to provide entertainment for us. But I think there is a conversation to be had. If authors being pressured is good for the quality of the story, or if it is bad. Take authors like Sui Ishida. When he was making Tokyo Ghoul and he was being pressured to have many assistants, which he didn't like, by the way, and the editor also being on his case, is when he made his best work, which is Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re. We can take Masashi Kishimoto also as an example. When he was just a rookie in the manga industry and was listening to his editors, that was when he made his best work, which was Naruto. It feels like when established mangakas return to make another manga, since they already have a hot manga in their CV, editors are less likely to give them corrections and the mangakas don't have as much pressure on them, so maybe they're not motivated enough to create the next big thing. But I hope that will not be the case if Kohei Horikoshi returns to make another manga. If Horikoshi was ever to return, I'd like for him to make another shonen manga that hopefully will become a success. I don't want to see another Kishimoto Samurai 8 situation happening again. The only battle shonen mangaka I can remember at the top of my head who has has more than one hit battle shonen is Yoshihiro Togashi, author of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, and maybe Hiromu Arakawa, the author of Full Metal Alchemist and Silver Spoon. Maybe not Hiromu Arakawa because Silver Spoon is not a battle shonen, but she has many other smaller mangas that it's difficult to ignore her in these conversations. We can also add Hiro Mashima into the list because he had Rave Master, a very popular manga and anime back in the day in the 2000s, and also the main story that Hiro Mashima is known for, Fairy Tail. He also drew Eden Zero, another successful popular manga. I feel like Hiro Mashima is very underrated. People clown on him because his style of storytelling, but that man is a workhorse. He has multiple manga that are successful, and that's honestly admirable. If Kohei Horikoshi returns, I don't think he'll do another long story, because if you've noticed, modern day mangaka can't handle the arduous lifestyle of writing a long-term shonen. Take your Naruto's, Bleach, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and etc. All these manga are insanely long compared to modern shonen stories such as Kimetsu no Yaiba, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero Academia. I don't know if modern day mangaka can nor should handle that anymore. I don't know if we will get modern manga that go beyond 500 or 600 chapters. So if Kohei Horikoshi returns, he'll probably make a manga that is not very long. I'd expect it to be shorter than My Hero Academia, and the reason I want him to make another shonen story is because that is already his craft. He knows how to make shonen stories, so the likelihood of making a good story will increase if he tries to make another shonen manga like how Togashi did. Togashi succeeded with a shonen manga in Yu Yu Hakusho and created an even better manga with Hunter x Hunter. It's better to stick to what you know so that you can create an even more better material. But this rule is not really necessary because you've got authors like Takehiko Inoue, who wrote a legendary sports manga in Slam Dunk, then went on to make another legendary manga, but this time a seinen manga in Vagabond. So if Kohei Horikoshi returns, it doesn't necessarily need to be a shonen story, but that is what I would prefer. I know I've said that when editors put pressure on mangaka during the time when they are newbies, that mangaka tend to make their best work, but that is not necessarily the case. You've got the situation with Togashi where after making Yu Yu Hakusho, he returned to make Hunter x Hunter, but by that time, since he was already an acclaimed mangaka, he had the freedom to write the story he really wanted, sometimes even clashing with the editors. I remember reading somewhere that once Togashi handed the chapter to his editor and the drawing was an absolute mess that his editor felt so embarrassed that he didn't want to send the chapter to Shonen Jump, and Hunter x Hunter fans threatened the editor to release that chapter. If Horikoshi returned to make a new manga, he would have the power over editors, much like Togashi did in the past, and even now maybe. And that's why I think other shonen authors like Gege Akutami are rushing to finish their story. But not only that, some Jujutsu Kaisen fans always criticize Jujutsu Kaisen for not exploring its characters much, and that may be because Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga that Gege Akutami is writing and drawing, is not what he had originally envisioned it to be. We know that because of Gege Akutami's interviews and how he talked about his editor telling him to turn the story setting into a school setting, and I have a guess to why editors do this, and that is because shonen stories are targeted to teenagers, and what best way to make it relatable to teenagers than making the setting a school setting. I think that's why Gege Akutami is rushing to finish Jujutsu Kaisen, so that he could return and make a manga where he has more creative freedom. That's what potentially Kohei Horikoshi could do. After he takes his break, he can return with a story where he has more creative freedom. And if Kohei Horikoshi returns, we might not see a school setting, because I think modern mangakas make their story in the modern world or a school setting because the editors are telling them to. The editors want to play it safe and make it relatable to teenagers. Take almost all the new gen manga, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kaiju number 8, Undead Unlock, Dandadan, etc. They are all set in modern day, and that makes me miss the fantastical world that we used to get in shonen stories, like the world of Naruto, One Piece, and Hunter x Hunter. I hope if Kohei Horikoshi returns, he makes the setting in a fantastical world. I also want to add another reason for why Kohei Horikoshi might return is that he is still young. He's only in his late 30s, so he has so much time on his hands. And I also find reading other stories of authors whom I already like so interesting. It's like missing another side to them. So it would be really awesome if he returned to make another manga. If you've made it this far, please make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the bell as well. And with that said, see you guys in the next one.